Hello, precious people, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gerard. I am the president and CEO of Gerard Cosmetics, and this channel is monetized for charity, which means by watching the videos, watching the ads, sharing the videos, leaving a little like or a little comment, you are supporting two fantastic charities in my area. The first is the Domestic Violence Program at the Child and Family Center, and the other is Rescues on the Runway, which is an amazing dog rescue. Speaking of dogs, as soon as I turned on the camera, he decided he was gonna take a camel-like drink, and he's been drinking this entire time. My little boy, he's so good. At any rate, I digress. If this is your first time here, don't forget to give the video a like and click the subscribe button down below so that you will know that any time that I upload a new video, and here he comes, very nice. So you guys have been asking for more cooking videos. So today, what we are going to do is we are going to make a pizza from scratch. The only thing we're not gonna make, and it's just for time's sake, is pizza sauce. So I actually purchased some of that in a can, but we are gonna make the dough from scratch. We are going to flatten and toss the dough by hand. And yeah, it's gonna be super fun. So I'm excited to jump right in and just want to start with the dough. Okay, we're gonna start with a medium-ish size mixing bowl. We're just gonna spray the inside. You can also oil it just a little bit. That's for our finished dough so that it can rise without sticking to the bowl. And okay, we're gonna start with 1 1/2 cups of warm water. I prefer it more to hot than warm. That's just me, but we are going to mix in 5 teaspoons of yeast. This is dry yeast. I actually prefer wet yeast. And then we're just gonna take a fork and mix it until it dissolves. Very, very important to dissolve the yeast into the water before you start making the mixture. Very important. So we're just gonna dissolve that really fast. So like I started to say, I like wet yeast a little bit better. It kind of crumbles, but yeast is not that easy to get these days, girl. I guess everybody is making pizza and homemade bread during their quarantine time. But this will work just fine. And you can see it gets kind of milky but brown. So we're gonna take this and pour it. Ooh, hold on, we still got some on the fork. So let's just get that all mixed in. Okay, much better. Now we are going to bring along a decent sized bowl. I would say this is medium large, and we're going to add 4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and the yeast and water mixture together. And we're just gonna mix it. So these are the only ingredients in our dough, and there is something to how you mix dough. So you definitely, if you have a KitchenAid that has a little dough hook, that's a very nice and clean way to mix the dough. I don't know, I like to mix things by hand. That's just me. I don't know, I'm weird. But we are going to mix this. Okay, and as you are mixing, this is about what you want to see. You want dough that is not so gooey that it's sticking all over the edge of your bowl, and you want dough that is not so dried out that there's flour everywhere. So you may have to add a little bit of additional flour, a little bit of additional water to get the right mix. Okay, so now we are just gonna take this and kind of make it into one ball. I would say this is a tad on the gooey side, but should still be doable. And I'm just gonna put it in this bowl that we already greased to rise. And it looks like that. Okay, so I let this rise for about 30 minutes. Try to find a nice warm spot. So now we're gonna need some saran wrap and a little bit of oil. This is vegetable oil. You can use canola, whatever you like. This is enough dough to make 2 pizzas. So what I'm gonna do is just cut this in half. And I'm gonna take these and make them into balls. So you wanna kind of make it into a ball in your hand, but then you wanna start to kind of fold the ball into itself. So see how I'm taking my hands and wrapping them around. So going around from the outside. See, I'm making a nice ball on the outside. Right, this is a little bit stickier than I would like, but that's okay. All right, so we have got one nice ball, and we're gonna get some plastic wrap ready to go. Just gonna set that down kind of flat. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of my vegetable oil and just rub it on the outside of the bowl. A light coat is good. You don't need much, so maybe I used about, I don't know, 2 teaspoons, a tablespoon maybe. Okay, so I've got a nice little dough ball here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my plastic wrap and I'm gonna put it face down. And then I'm gonna take my plastic wrap. Because what will happen is, as this dough starts to rise, it's gonna rise every different direction. And we wanna try to keep these little dough balls somewhat round if possible. This is very hard to do with non-commercial plastic wrap because it isn't as big as the commercial, but there you go. Now we've got a nice ball. See, I made a little twisty in the back, and I'm just gonna set that down. And then we're gonna do the same with the other ones. I think I'm gonna oil my hands just a little bit beforehand because that other dough ball was kind of sticky. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. Just fold it into itself, fold it into itself, fold it into itself. All right, and now there's these little edges that are left, and we can just kind of spin those around until they're gone. So now we're just gonna get a little bit of oil and oil the outside of the ball. Okay, and then we can just get a piece of plastic wrap. And do the same thing that we did before. So I'm just gonna stretch this out as much as I can. Pick this up. Okay, so now you don't have to cook these at the same time. You could make one tonight, one tomorrow, however you want to do it. So we're just going to put them like this, and then we're going to put them in the refrigerator and let them go ahead and rise for at least a couple of hours. The longer that you let it rise, most importantly, you just don't want it to be super stiff. I can tell this dough is going to be easy to work with, so I'm not really too concerned about it. But if you can let it rise for 2, 3, 4 hours, that's ideal. And you can even leave it overnight. Okay, and we're back. We are ready to make these pizzas. So you can see I've got my dough here. I have got pizza screens. These are 16-inch screens I got from Amazon. I really like these better than pizza pans or pizza stones. I think that you get a more evenly cooked pizza and nice and crispy and stuff on this. So that would just be my personal preference. Then we're just gonna take our dough, and I've put some flour down, and we're gonna just flour this thing. I like to put a big piece of aluminum foil down to work, just because it makes gives you a nice big area to work with. So now I'm just taking the palm of my hand and just kind of pressing. I'm trying to keep it even and round as I go around. So when I was in college, I used to work in a pizza place, Pizza Etc. And that's where I learned how to do this. I was the manager and I was a delivery driver for a while. So I learned so many valuable skills. Who knew, right? Okay. All right, so now you can see I've got a nice kind of flat pancake size. I've got about a 6-inch pizza. We need to turn it into a 16-inch pizza. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by just cupping your hands like this, very lightly around the dough, and be careful if you have nails not to stab. And you just wanna lightly just pull, 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 till you've gone all the way around. Okay. Now that we've got that, you can see that the outside is thinner now than the inside, right? You've gone all the way around the pizza. We're gonna just go around one more time just for the heck of it, because we're gonna need to stretch this thing really big. Okay, so you wanna make 2 fists and just very nicely, very gingerly at first, just pull the dough. Okay. So now notice it's slowly getting bigger, and you can see as you do it where the thinner spots are. So you want to try to avoid the spots that are thin. Making pizza at home, most times you're probably going to rip the dough. That's fine. It's no big deal. You can just pinch it back together before you put sauce or anything on it, and then you're going to be good to go. So as you start to toss it more, again, very gingerly, throw with your fists and catch with your fists. You're gonna see that it gets much easier. Okay, we're getting kind of thin there in the middle, so we are gonna stop. This is probably not gonna be 16 inches, but that is perfectly fine. This recipe makes enough dough to make 2 good sized pizzas, but these are a 16-inch screen. So we're probably gonna end up with more like a 14-inch pizza, which is perfectly fine. That's about what I expected. Okay, but we did not get any rips, which is pretty good. And got a pretty nice looking pizza. So I haven't done this for a few years. So you never lose it. Once you learn it, you never lose it. Okay, so now we're gonna just take some sauce. I like to use a ladle and just drop some in the center and then just kind of work it around. I like a lot of sauce. Sorry about the background noise if you can hear that. Julie decided she wants to clean. So she's upstairs cleaning her room. And I'm sure it's an undertaking. And of course, Zeta is up there helping her, and you know who is over there laying down and being a good boy. Okay, so you want to take the sauce not all the way to the edge. And by the way, sometimes homemade doughs will bubble when it's cooking. If you get a bubble while it's cooking, all you have to do is just poke it with a fork and put a little cheese on top. Nobody will ever know. All right, and now I have got some grated mozzarella cheese, and we're just gonna take that and push it around. Fill the pizza with it. Okay, now when you always go around the edge of your pizza and make sure that there is no cheese hanging off the edge, because that'll make those little broth marks that you see on your pizza, and you don't want that. Okay, so now we have got that. And I think I'm gonna make this one for me. So I like sausage and mushrooms. So I took some Italian sausage this morning, and I actually couldn't find any loose sausage. So I just took it out of the casing and sauteed it with some fennel seed. And that's how I got this. And you can always use that as well for your lasagna. So you know what, I'll link my lasagna video because I do have one on this channel. Okay, so there's my sausage, yum. I love sausage. And I have got mushrooms here. I just sliced these. I know not everybody likes mushrooms. I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms. Are you a huge fan of mushrooms? I like them on pizza because I used to work at a pizza place. So, you know, people would order the wrong thing and you get stuck eating it. And so a lot of times things that I don't particularly care for, I learned to like working in the pizza place. Okay, and now we're just gonna put another layer of cheese on top, and then we are ready to go into the oven. So I've got my oven preheated to 450, and usually these will take about 10 minutes, but sometimes a little longer. You just wanna watch it very carefully so that you don't burn it. Okay, so this one is ready to go into the oven, and we're gonna go ahead and put it in. What do you think? This one I'm not gonna cook, I'm just going to make it and get it ready. This one is, I'm making it actually for Robbie, who has been working very hard. He lives right next to our office, and he has been working very hard lately, making sure that the orders get out. So just wanna do something nice for him. So we're gonna make him a nice pepperoni and sausage. And by the way, I did measure the screen. The screen's an 18-inch, which explains why there isn't enough dough to make two that will cover the entire screen, but it's fine. You don't have to cover the entire screen. It's all good. Okay, so again, I'm just patting with the palm of my hand. And by the way, if you mess this up, you can re-roll the dough into a ball and start over. If it just looks like a disaster, so don't get discouraged and don't throw it out. Hand tossing dough takes a minute to get good at, and you shouldn't get upset with yourself if it's not right off the way that you would like it to be. Okay, so now I'm gonna grip it. Remember, I'm just making my little grip very lightly, and we're just gonna go all the way around the edge. All right, so cool. I miss working at a pizza place. That was fun. That was a fun job. I love tossing pizzas. Answering the phone, taking orders. It was fun. I like doing deliveries too. Is that crazy? It was fun. Except going late night to the college. They never tipped. That was not fun, and there was never any place to park. So those orders I could do without, but and they would always call right when you were closing. No, don't do that. Oh. Okay, I see we're getting a little tear here, so I'm just gonna take this and pinch it right back together. We're just gonna pretend like that never happened. Okay, here comes our screen. Oh crap, I ripped it. I ripped it while it was sitting on my hands. Okay, well, no big deal. So we got a little rip here, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pinch this right back together. But of course, it's like, Grand, look at me. But I can't, I'm cooking, buddy. I'm cooking, I'm sorry. Okay, this dough has some bubbles in it, so I'm gonna watch this one really carefully. Okay. All right.
What, Yogi Bear? What are you doing, you little boy? Hmm? Are you being a good boy? I love you so much. Yes, I do. He's like, Greg, you got something good up there. I think he smells the sausage. He was all over me when I was cooking that sausage. Okay. You don't have to put the sauce on super thick and all of that, because when it cooks, it's really gonna all come together. So don't worry, it's not gonna be dry. This is more than enough sauce, trust me. Okay, so let's get our mozzarella cheese and put that down. So what was your favorite job growing up? Like, what job did you do? Tell me down in the comments if you made it this far in the video. What you did as a kid and whether or not you enjoyed it. So I worked at Pizza Etc. I also, at the same time, I had 3 jobs when I was in college. So I worked at Pizza Etc. I worked in a tanning salon 1 day a week, and then I worked at Six Flags on the weekends. That was my first job. I got that job when I was 17. I actually did work when I was younger, but not legally. I worked at the swap meet, selling music. I was the new girl, so I had to do 8 tracks, and the guy who owned the place sold the cassettes. So that's how long ago it was. Don't judge people. All right, so now we're gonna grab some pepperoni from my Everything's Bigger in Texas mug. And pepperonis typically don't shrink very much. If you're gonna put pepperoni on your pizza, when it comes out of the oven, do not be afraid to take a paper towel and soak up the excess grease, because just nobody wants that. And trust me, they do it at the pizza place before they deliver it to you. So just a little hint for you there. Holy cow, these nails are just getting in the way of everything today. My boss used to get so mad because we would put too many pepperonis. My first boss I had at the pizza place was so cheap. Oh my gosh, I hope he's not watching. John, I love you if you're watching, but no, he was cheap. He made us weigh the cheese. And then sometimes he would go and he would hide in the bushes, and he'd call me one time and be like, so, how's everything going? Oh, everything's going great, John, don't worry. Well, Brady's not wearing his hairnet. He'd be sitting in the parking lot, and then he'd go to a payphone because they didn't have cell phones back then, and call me and yell at me. Those were the days. Okay, so here comes my sausage. And then we're just gonna put a nice layer of cheese over the top. And again, this is just Italian sausage sauteed with fennel seed. Sometimes you can get the loose, like bulk sausage, but I couldn't get that, so I just did the link ones and then just cut the casings off and sauteed it by hand. Okay, so there we go. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. All right, we're gonna put some more cheese on top. And then of course, we're gonna go around the outside and make sure that there isn't any little stray cheeses, because we don't want those making black marks on our pizza. That is not allowed. And we're gonna put extra cheese for Robbie because he's not fat. Has anybody, guys, I'm sure you can tell. You don't have to mention it in the comments, but I have gained a lot of weight on this quarantine, girl. A lot. It's gonna be very, very interesting going to take it off. But I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy my own cooking. So I'm just going with it for right now. You know, Yogi doesn't care. He's like, hey, all the more to snuggle with. All right, so here is our pizza number 2, and we're just gonna wrap this up for Robbie, and we'll check on our other pizza and see how it is doing. So here's our pizza in the oven. It's looking pretty good. I'm getting hungry. Yummy. Here's our little helper. You're gonna sit with a good boy. Can you touch? Yes. Shake hands? Okay. I love my help. Oh, look at that face. I love that face. Yes, I do. I love it so much. Thank you. We have now got our before and after. Here's our after pizza, and we've still got our before pizza over here.
hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And thank you so much for watching. Yogi's here with his head on my lap because he knows there's pizza around. So if you made it this far in the video, why not share the video? After all, sharing is caring. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to give the video a like and click the subscribe button down below and ring the bell so that you will know anytime that this guy and I upload a new video. So I'm just enjoying my quarantine, enjoying my me time. I know I haven't been around a whole bunch. I've just been really busy while I've been here at home, and I haven't had time to get on social media that much. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I just hope that you're having a totally awesome day, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Bye.